Hey everybody, it is February 22nd, 2021. I'm back with another vlog. Uh, I think I've given up on trying to, clearly, on trying to make these a monthly thing. As a proponent of going with the flow, um, I think it's best if I just give up on that. Clearly, it wasn't happening. Clearly, my mind would not allow it to happen. But thankfully, um, it there seems to be, I guess, a natural frequency of one every 3 months or so. So here's the next one. End of February, 2021. Uh, a lot is happening still in the world. Um, with the earlier vlogs, I made more of an effort to talk about the world as a whole. But I think you can look it up. I don't think the people watching in the future, myself and others, um, would. I don't think that information is going to be gone. I hope not. And people who are watching this a little closer to the present, I figured they wouldn't want reminders of what's going on, maybe. Because it's all around us. To touch on it a little, um, there is a vaccine. There are multiple vaccines actually, but um, the rollout everywhere it seems to be slower than anticipated, slower than needed. So hopefully it isn't too late. Um, that's 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 the big thing, among many many other things. I think it, like I said, I think it'd be a bummer if I touched upon world events in these videos. End of February in 2021. You can look up what was happening. I think there's better sources for that anyway. Uh, and besides, these videos were always more meant for me, and what was happening in my own personal life, so that I could look back on in the future, and so that others could also see what was going on during this time. Anyways, uh, I'm doing all right. Um, I when you stream on Twitch, you get notifications not just when people sub, but how long people have been subbed for, and people are getting their 7, 8 month renewals on their subs. So when did I start? I started in July, August, September, October, November, December, January, and we're in February now. So yeah, coming up on 8 months, and wow, it still makes me really happy. Still makes me really happy. Um, to be fully candid, we didn't know. I guess I'll explain it like this. If you're a creative anything, I mean, beyond that, if you do anything, a lot of it is just trudging along and staying on course and keeping it up, and sometimes you get a lucky break. And that's what me and my friends felt like we had with HLVR AI. So during the summer of 2020, I was like, well, yeah, I'll give the streaming thing a shot, especially since a lot of my friends were getting on that bandwagon as well. I'm just a little slow. Uh, I'm a little slow to get on to pick things up. I always have been, but I was like, all right, I'll give this a shot. And I knew a lot of people. I could tell that a lot when I started streaming, a lot of people would get excited, and they were. But I also knew that after a period of time, that hype would sort of die down. and I'd have to see how much support I'd really have, going in the long term. Um, and as expected, it diminished. But the question, you know, I knew that was going to happen, but the real question was how much would it diminish? Would people like stop watching altogether, or um, would it stay steady enough that I could keep going as a thing that I regularly do? Um, or would it just turn back into something that I would do rarely for fun, right? Not being a pessimist, I have confidence in myself to put on a good show. I believe in my own ability to entertain people. Um, if I didn't believe in that, I wouldn't ever be on any streams or anything, and I wouldn't be recording this right now. But I'm also realistic in that, okay, how long does this last? And thankfully, I'm very happy to say, going towards 8 months of streaming, enough people are tuning in, enough people are supporting me that, um, although that kind of like hype period has died down, there's been growth, and it's like big jump, and then it goes back down a little, and then but it's slowly on the rise, and that makes me really happy, because it's it means that people are not just watching me because I was in a funny video, but it's that people are watching because they know I'm consistently entertaining. That makes me really happy, and it means that streaming is definitely something I'm going to be doing on the regular. I mean, if it wasn't obvious already, to me and to you, yeah, it's fucking dope. It's great. Um, I think I've touched upon this definitely while I was streaming, maybe in a previous vlog. I don't rewatch these, because I'm in them, um, but I'm really happy where I am. Um, Not because of the how much money I'm making, but because for the first time in my life, I feel like I get to be me. Um, Going to college, getting jobs after college, multiple jobs after college. I always feel like I'm playing some sort of role. Um, but doing what I do now, while the money isn't as good, I get to be who I am. Um, and I think the fact that I don't wake up dreading the rest of the day definitely makes up for it, right? No one should have to wake up dreading the next, you know, 8 to 15 hours of their day. Um, and I don't anymore. So that makes me feel really blessed and really happy. Um, and it's nice to know that, what I don't follow any religion. I don't follow much of a philosophy, right? I always tell people I just kind of go with the flow. Um, because life changes and life changes fast, especially for people in my generation, or if you're even anywhere close to my being in my generation, life moves fast, right? Like a year ago, um, I was a chocolatier, and I was on track to being a chocolatier, and boy howdy, am I happy to not have to work at a chocolate shop on Valentine's Day. For those of you with people you want to buy chocolate for, whether it be friends, family, lovers, anything, always go early. Always go early. Never go late. Real chocolate shops will run out of chocolate so fast, and you don't want to be that guy or gal or whatever. Yeah, standing at the chocolate shop and like half of the stuff is empty. Don't be that person. Um, it sucks. um, but yeah, I you know I'm really happy because I feel like I've gone from playing all these different roles in my life, and I get to be me. Or at the very least, I get to be a role I'm a lot more comfortable playing. so that makes me really happy. Um, it it's and also it's fun. It's just fun. So I've said it so many times, but I'll say it again. For those of you who support me in any way, thank you. Um, and that you know that's not going that isn't just going to it's not just a cycle of okay, you guys sub this and that, and then I just keep streaming. I feel like the last 6 to 7 months have been me kind of digging my heels in, me getting my footing, figuring out okay, how is this making videos and streaming thing gonna work out? Because even though I'm friends with Wayne, and now I'm friends with a lot of other streamers, and I get to see how the sausage is made, um, I still have to do it myself. I still have to make it myself, right? I always say monkey see, monkey do, but you can look and watch, but it's you still have to figure out things. So the last 7 months or so were me figuring out, okay, how am I going to do this, and getting it to the point where I can do it regularly, and not and not have to like make it a strain. Streaming for me, I can't speak for other people, but streaming for me is really easy. Not like not like I just log in and play video games, but as a from being an entertainer aspect of it, I don't stress about um, I don't stress about things like everything from is my voice gonna get raspy uh, by the end of the day. That doesn't happen to me anymore. To oh, how do I manage the software, or can I how do I have the stamina to go for 5 hours or so looking to a camera and talking and interacting with an audience and things like that. When I say it's easy for me, that's what I'm talking about. I still suck at any game. I still suck at video games. um, you know, so now that it's easier for me, I fully intend on taking the excitement and the support that you guys give me, and I'm gonna channel that not just into videos, but into making my streams even crazier. Because that's the idea that me and my friends have always had and go by, right? We owe I owe a lot of our success to our formula that your stream should be more than what everyone else is doing. I think if you're just playing video games, whether you're a big fish or a small fish, if you're just playing video games on Twitch, you are a fish in a vast, deep ocean that just goes on and on and on and on. And I think as a as a as a as a platform, I think a lot of people are just playing games because they think that's all it's for. But really, it's a place that will help you maintain an audience, and you can put on, if you're like us, you could put on weird and crazy shows. So expect more of that um, in the as time goes on, and expect even if it's not a special show, expect me to just get looser with it to see what makes for good viewing. Because to be fairly honest, playing video games on Twitch kind of sucks. you know, um, but it does. It, 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 it's a weird subject, but it playing video games on Twitch sucks. Um, it's kind of like a necessary thing because it's what the platform was designed for, and it does legitimately while interacting with an audience and being entertaining while I play a game is a game makes for a nice casual backdrop for people to tune into. But if my streams could just be me hanging, outside of those big spectacular shows, if my stream was just a place where I could just consistently just like would do weird shit, I think that's where I want my stream in particular to end up. Um, because I don't know. The games, the games won't go away, but they're not. I don't want them to be the main focus. Um, but yeah, um, that that period of hype, that like honeymoon period that I was talking about, um, it has definitely worn off. And for me, at the beginning, I think it was exciting for a lot of people, and it was exciting for me. And then the hype died down for the audience, and for me, I kind of identified, okay, this is where like, this is a job, and no job is perfect. Kind of things started popping up. Um, so on my end, behind the scenes, letting you know how the sausage is made. I have like things that I've identified that I definitely need to work on. Um, it's interesting because you know having done this for like half a year now, one thing that has popped up is interesting because I realized that every videos I've having any kind of whenever I've had an audience before, it's always been one way. Even with a live show, I've believe it or not, I have some minute experience talking to like live audiences, and it's interesting because they they sit down and they shut up because that's what you're expected to do, right? You sit down and you shut up because you whether you paid or not, you're here for the show. And Twitch is so different because it is not just expected, it's not just the norm, but you know, it's you have to just interact with the audience a lot, a whole lot. You're having conversations with them, you're bouncing off of them, and that is a skill that I really need to work on. Um, Even for streamers that get like 4 digit, 5 digit, 6 digit view counts, it goes less, where the chat room is moving at lightning speed, it turns from that to like noticing the comments that people donate in for and things like that. Um, it becomes more of that, and it's the game is the same. I need to work on that. It's weird because I realized, you know, the thing about it is that like a lot of people just come in talking about random stuff, and it doesn't like pertain to anything at all. Like a weird aspect of Twitch that I never really like realized is that like your audience is all, and I don't know if it's like a particular like I don't know. I think everyone. I think it's just like a constant. Like your audience is like always trying to change the subject, and I don't know why. Um, because you would assume that your audience, like you know, your audience is like there to watch you or to watch the game, but like at the drop of a dime, you walk away, and the chat is like willing is like gonna change the subject immediately. Even while you're there, they'll try to change the subject, and it's weird because for an entertainer, you're trying to keep people on track, um, and you're trying to make it seem like a one way. How do I explain this? The I remember this weird excerpt. It was a I heard this. I don't remember who. I don't remember who, but it was from a documentary about rock and roll music, and it was a particular front man for one metal band. I don't remember who. Because I'm terrible with names, but I remember the quote because I copied it and I use it all the time. Copied it and use it all the time. Which is by the end of the show, and in this case, this is not a physical venue, but I think it still applies. By the end of the show, or towards the end, by once the show gets going, the person sitting all the way back in the venue should feel like you're right in their face. And even though it's not a physical show, even though everyone's just staring into um, their their monitors watching the stream, I try to do the same thing where I try to make everyone feel like it's just me and them, and the crowd doesn't matter. Um, so for on my end, it's actually really like weird to have people, it's like it's less like trying to manage. I realize that it's like a hybrid because on one aspect of it, you're it's like managing a traditional audience at a live show, and then but you add in like elements of trying to manage like maybe something like a chat room or an IRC where you know people just bring up random shit and it doesn't help. Um, you know, weird things like that are starting to pop up, and they're not like problems because I don't think anyone is doing it consciously. Maybe they are. I don't know, but it's weird. I'm noticing more of these like weird pitfalls um, with the process, I should say. But no job is perfect, and it's not like a bad aspect of it either. This is not a problem, is what I'm trying to say. It's more of a weird aspect of the job, and it is a job now. Thank you all for this job. I need to say it so it sticks in my head. You know, it's my income now, so thank you. But it's you know these weird kind of aspects of doing this or revealing themselves, and while they're not problems, I would still like to figure out what to do with them. So yeah, but it's interesting. I hope it continues to be interesting. I hope Twitch streaming does not become a solved thing, if that makes sense. Um, I want to keep it exciting. I want to keep it changing. I think a lot of people are big or small are are complacent with just having it be having everything good and then streaming and then they're set. But I don't know. Me and my friends are always trying to shoot for the moon, so expect more of that. And things are going good. I'm I'm really happy. Um, Now that yeah, expect more. uh, uh, that's it. I there are more business things that I have to take care of, but things are going good. Um, I just wish things were going good on a larger scale because in my own personal life, things are going great, but for us as a whole, things aren't going great. So there's a little guilt there, but you know, I as a person can only do so much. I think. Um, I'll tell you what, it is one thing I pride myself on. I pride myself on having like an iron will. I've told people I can quit snacking and sugar and things like that. But it one aspect of all this quarantining for COVID, it's after a full year, it is finally hitting me. I miss my friends. I miss going out. I miss just being able to share a meal with someone physically that isn't just me with my parents at home. It stinks. I don't know why it's taken a full year for it to hit, but man, shit sucks. Um, I'm gonna hold strong. I'm not gonna go out and party or anything stupid like that. But yeah, here's hoping the next time I here's hoping the next time I record another one of these, I'm vaccinated. We're all vaccinated, and I don't want things to return to normal. I think with everything going on, we uh we have to imagine a different future. I don't want things to go back to the way they were because things, you know, things going back to the way they were will just keep us blind. We're just gonna get blindsided by the next big thing. And to be honest, the status quo sucked for a lot of people. So I want us to all I want COVID to be over, not because I want things to go back to normal, because hopefully we can all come together and figure out a different future for ourselves. All right, it's getting a little. I got a little deep towards the end there. I just wanted to boast about how great it is, how great my streaming shit is. I'm kidding. All right, this has gone on for like 27 minutes. That's way longer than I wanted. Thank you all for your support. More good things to come from me. Have a good one, everybody. Peace out.